Max, you've known me for 5 hours.
And I knew in the first 10 minutes, you knocked me off my feet.
Well, maybe I deceived you.
It's like everybody's got something about them that, even if they're gone, it just floats through the air and wraps itself around you, like smoke.
I am so excited to talk to you today, Jennifer, about The Second Son. I'm a big World War II buff, and your movie really captured that feeling and that time and the romance. I was thinking of movies like Hanover Street, and I'm a big classic film fan. So I was really pleased to see how you captured the time and the moment and the romance in this. But I assume that wasn't easy. A lot of thought went into that.
Well, I worked on the play for 3.5 years, so I lived with it. Excuse me. I was a dramaturg and the director of this play, and we workshopped it for, as I said, 3.5 years. We ended up at the Signature Theater off Broadway, which was the last place we did it, and then we decided to turn it into a screenplay. And the writer went off and did a play. He's an actor as well, James Patrick Nelson. He went off and did a play. And when he came back from that summer doing the play, he said, "Oh, and I wrote the screenplay." so that's sort of how it happened. And
well, that's why it feels like a play, because I'm watching this and I'm like, wow, it's structured like a play. And also for a director, from your point of view, that had to make the coverage and shooting the movie a lot less demanding.
Well, actually, there was no less demand on it because I didn't shoot it like a play. I did shoot it in continuity as much as I could, but I wanted it to dance. I wanted the camera to dance because the whole thing is like a dance. You
Absolutely.
know, as you see in the beginning, I begin it that way. So I know that some people who know it's a play say they see the play, you know, that they can feel the play. But I did want to expand it. But it is an intimate piece. It's a very intimate, I mean, it takes place in a day and a half. You could say the same thing about, you know, Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf. It still feels like a play when you watch the movie.
Absolutely. And A Couple Meet One Night, post-war Manhattan, World War II, but both have a lot of baggage to unpack, don't they?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot.
I was surprised at how detailed it got. And just amazing that Eden and John, did they do a lot of rehearsal? Because their chemistry was really astounding.
Yeah, we did do rehearsal. We had the luxury of doing about a week of rehearsal while we're in pre-production. And Eden had the luxury of having done the play for those 3.5 years. So she, you know, it was in her bones. John just jumped in because the man who wrote it had played it for those 3.5 years. But they definitely had palpable chemistry, and it shows in the screen.
Was there many challenges in doing a period film, especially World War II, the little details?
Yeah, but I had an amazing production staff. My production designer, her name is Jimena Azula, and she did a beautiful job. I mean, everything. And my costumer just, she made that dress. That dress became, you know, she made like 4 or 5 of them because Eden had to wear it mostly throughout the whole film. But, and it was very, very constricting and hard to, you know, because it had a lot of boning and, you know, of the period, and she had to wear all the stuff underneath it of the period. So she'd be bruised by the end of the day. Her chest plate would be bruised because everything was so tight and constricted. But, you know, the detail was so beautiful. Everybody put everything they had into this film. Even the concentration camp uniforms, those are real. I get emotional just thinking about it. My designer got them from Poland. Wow. She is Polish. And
did your actors know that? Did your actors know they were real?
You know, I don't know, because most of them were extras. So I don't know if they knew they were real. But when you see that scene, you don't doubt it for a minute.
It looked very authentic. And I was wondering if those were the actual, but switching to black and white for the flashback scenes, they had such impact. I mean, was that a conscious artistic choice to use black and white?
In post it was. I shot it in color. and it wasn't working for me. And so I thought, how can I really make this more as you said, impactful? And so I played with sepia, and then I went to black and white, and that was it. I knew it. I just was like, oh, now I feel like I'm there. And now I feel like we're not, making a movie about that time, that it is that time.
Yeah, because the color wouldn't have worked. I mean, the black and white makes it raw. I mean, it just absolutely
Yeah.
disturbingly raw.
Yeah.
Tell me about the use of music, because you use swing music and different types. It really sets the tone. Was it difficult to choose what kind of music and where without the movie?
No, I had scored the play. But I had scored it with Frank Sinatra and Benny Goodman, and I couldn't afford any of that.
There's your budget. Yeah.
So I had a great music supervisor who was also a producer on the film, and he found me similar music to what I had scored it with for the play, because during the play, music plays throughout it because they're in a bar. So I always had music playing throughout the piece. So he found me great music, and then we found a beautiful composer, Ed Bilius, from I think he's the chair of the music department at Juilliard, and he watched the film once. I had seen quite a few composers, and he watched it, and he just understood it, and everything he said to me after he saw it, I was I just knew he was the guy. So I think the score it's so haunting and so beautiful.
Such dimension to the movie. It really does.
Yeah.
Really does. And tell me about taking your film to the Cannes Film Festival. I understand that you had a screening there. What was that experience?
We did. And John went along with one of our producers, the man who was the music supervisor, Quincy. And I didn't go. And part of why I didn't go is I'm afraid to fly. I fly only about, I went to the Venice Film Festival because I had a movie in that festival. And I had never been there before, but I just didn't want to go. And I didn't want to be in crowds, and this is way before COVID. And I just thought, I don't want to do that. And so I sent them, and they were my representatives.
Well, a wonderful film, and you just capture the mood, the moment, and the time. Congratulations, and let's talk again soon. I'd love to know what you're doing next.
Definitely, thanks. Check out my movie Diary. That came out in August.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Jennifer, and good luck with the film.
Thank you. Okay, thank you.